Taurus, welcome in. I hope you are doing well today. So we are in the pre-shadow of Mercury retrograde in Pisces. So it doesn't officially start until the 26th. However, the full between pre-shadow and post-shadow, we're looking at February 11th through April 9th. So anywhere in that time frame, you're going to have somebody coming back from the past. So who that is, I don't know. I'm going to find out here what the intentions are or what the energy is of this person. I'm going to take a look at your energy. So we'll do the first three cards will be your energy first. And just remember to use your intuition over your logic. Because, Pisces energy is very dreamy. Like I said, during this time, it can be a little confusing. You might not fully understand what the intentions are based on maybe what they're saying to you. And so you really need to trust your intuition, all right? Always remember to take what resonates and throw out what doesn't. If you're finding that this doesn't resonate with you, don't force it. Check out your other sign placements. You might find yourself in there. Remember that we embody all 12 signs of the zodiac, even if we don't have a planet placement. We still have a house. All right, so let's see. Tell me about Taurus and the person coming back. Tell me about Taurus and their person coming back. And I hope you're doing well. Seven of Swords in reverse. Seven of Wands in the reverse. 7, 7. Oh, 10 of Swords. Your person. Two of Pentacles in the reverse. 8 of Wands in the reverse. Wow. 4 of Cups in the reverse. Okay, Taurus, so wow, okay. So there was a harsh ending with this person, okay? It may have felt a little difficult. You may have even felt like this person, stabbed you in the back. It feels like you're in an energy of, you're done, you're giving up, after the last ending, it's kind of like maybe you'll come clean with yourself and stop, lying to yourself about this person when they do come back. You may have been, lying to yourself when they were in your life, whenever that was. So your person, it's been slow for them to come back towards you. It's taking them a while. It's almost as if they don't feel they even understand how they can come back, okay? They know that with the 4 of Cups in reverse, it's, maybe they want to start something new, start something fresh, but they're very slow to kind of do this. Maybe they don't know how to come back towards you. right? Which is why they're kind of feeling a little scattered. It's like, I want to come back. I want to talk to Taurus. I want to come back into their life. I'm not really sure. And maybe that's because they are picking up on your energy of, you're kind of done. You're giving up. You don't want to, try. You feel like you were stabbed in the back, and you feel maybe this is done. And even though they want to come back, they're probably picking up on that energy. They're picking up on that vibe. So let's get a little more. What was the blockage here between Taurus and this person? What's the blockage? Untrue stories. It's funny because you have the Seven of Swords in reverse. You may have not have been as clear with this person in the past. Not compatible. Getting crumbs. This feels a little bit like at one point you may have told yourself, this was a person for you. Maybe you were talking yourself into, being with this person. Maybe, it was, they checked off everything on your, list, where maybe you're like, yeah, they got this, they got that, they got this, they got that. Yeah. But truthfully, they were not compatible with you. So while it may have looked good on paper, they may have matched you in external ways, such as, well, they get a good job, they're a hard worker, but did you feel it though? I'm not sure you were feeling it, and you may have been breadcrumbing each other. Almost as, because this person's hesitant. Like, they want to come back, but they're very hesitant. I get this hesitant feeling. And I think it's what this boils down to is that you both are not really compatible with each other, which is a sense of you giving up. It's like you're going to stop lying to yourself. Right? You may have been telling yourself stories that this is my person. Yeah, it's cool. I can deal with them being in my life, however they were in your life. But you stop and think during this time, I wasn't really giving my whole self to them. Maybe they weren't really giving them their whole self to me. And truthfully, you're just not compatible. Because if you are not fully giving yourselves to each other, so, this might be a time where you actually are able to come clean about this. So if they do actually make it in, because it is a little delayed. So this person's not coming in today or tomorrow. That's for sure. let's see what's in the true intentions. They're not in a hurry. And I think it's maybe because you both are starting to realize you don't really belong in each other's life. You both deserve better. Because maybe the feeling wasn't into it. Yeah, it's all about the status. Remember I was saying, it's like it's like a resume. They checked off perfectly on a resume, it's like, it's good status, They make XYZ money. They got this great job, They've got a nice house. They'll make me look good. But it was all about the image. Because you'll see these two people on the not compatible card. Their backs are to each other. They're both on their phones. Almost as if they're communicating or admiring somebody else, right? Through social media. Doesn't have to be social media, but you get what I'm saying. Their backs are to each other, It was all about the status, not truly being honest and giving to each other. You're there, but you're not. You both are focused on other people. And I think during this time, you're realizing it's not about the status. It's not about, is this person going to make me look good to my friends and family and my public image? You're starting to realize you both deserve more. But in some sense, yeah, and I was called to it looks like there's a clock on this shelf. Time's getting away from you both because you're lying to yourselves about this connection. So this might the chills. Oh my gosh, I'm getting a lot of spiritual chills. So it's almost as if, okay, when this person does actually come back, maybe this is the final closure of, I don't think we really need to be in each other's life. Tell me about the untrue stories. Spirit, please. The untrue stories. Oh, 10 of Cups. The Emperor. The Moon. Yeah. It's like you were lying to yourselves, right? It was an illusion about being happy. This is my happiness. This person, is right for me. And it was all an illusion with the Moon. And with the Emperor, it was almost giving me a feeling of you both were very stubborn. Thinking, well, this person does make me happy, I mean, they check all the boxes. But did they check your emotional box? Because the 10 of Cups, that's supposed to be all of it, right? That's total happiness. You emotionally feel it. And Pisces is in a very emotional sign. And I think now you're starting to feel a little more like you want true emotional connection. you're waking up. And see, that's why this person's struggling to come in, because I think they're feeling that too. You know, you're like, but we're perfect for each other, you know? We're both people who make a lot of money. We've got the same financial goals, whatever that is. But it's not true emotional happiness here. And I think that's what you're going to be discovering. And that's why during this retrograde, they're telling you, don't go by logic, right? Logic would be, well, logically, we match each other. I mean, we look good to the public. The public sees us as this great couple, you know? But does your intuition and your heart feel that? I'm not feeling that. I'm feeling two people that have been lying to themselves, and it's time to get clear on it and let go. You know, we do have the eclipse in Aquarius coming up. Transition 3, 4, 5. We have the eclipse coming up. That's about to eclipse somebody out of your life so you can bring in the right people. And then here you have the transitioning card. You are in a period of transition and change. That's clear. Both of you. Embrace new beginnings and trust in the process of transformation unfolding in your life. Yeah, you're transitioning. You're waking up and realizing, I don't want somebody that checks off all the boxes on the resume. I want somebody I feel is my Skittles, you know, my rainbow. I want to feel it. You know, I want to feel the check marks. I don't want it because they make me look good, you know, just because we're into the same things. You know, you got to realize opposites attract for a reason. So if this person, you know, may have looked good to your family and your friends, it didn't feel good. It didn't feel right. You're feeling it was all an illusion. You know, you were telling yourself stories because deep down, you both are actually focusing on something else. And you weren't truly giving to each other with the crumbs. You know, you deserve more affection. Wait for the one that adores you, right? Who runs through the door, who's, you know, excited to see you. They're excited to find out how was your day, you know? Somebody you want to run home to that makes you feel better. So they always say, you know, sometimes you're not always going to have the best work life. Sometimes you're not always going to have the best home life. But you can't have both that are bad. And when you can come home to somebody that puts a smile on your face, who's giving you genuine affection, their whole selves, not just there because it's a body, but because they actually turn a stressful day into a stress reliever. You know what I'm saying? Let's get some signs for you. I mean, like I said, we've got Aries, we've got Pisces. You know, it can be any sign, but let's see if we can get some additional signs on who you're dealing with here. Cancer. Capricorn. Capricorn again. Leo. One more. Libra. So it could be any sign, really. I don't say it's just to these, but I do like to give you a general idea because there wasn't a lot of major cards that came out except for the Emperor and the Moon. But I thought it was best to try and give you some additional signs that you could be dealing with, all right? So Taurus, I hope this was helpful. I'm glad to see that, you're waking up during this time. You're listening to your intuition. It's not about the status and logic anymore. It's about true emotional happiness. Skittles, baby. Go get those Skittles. Go over the rainbow. I love you. I hope this was helpful, and I will talk to you soon.